Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We're here. We're doing a show. It's time for the show.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Azeroth RT.
It's showtime. Woo!
Woo. It's not Cork.
Core.
Core.
I love the idea. I'm turned up. I'm turning Ben down. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, my.
Ben's getting turned down. He's getting turned all the way down.
Now, see, the thing is we're recording on off of Discord, so that's why our sound levels are all off. So
It's jacked up, man.
Yeah, dude, I just need to turn us overall down on the recording because you're like jumping up and down, and I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what the heck is happening.
Yeah, so overall, I just turned down my feed into my computer to record stuff. So now we're not going to be capping out on people's headphones.
Very loud noises.
Oh, don't not make loud noises.
Okay. Hi, everybody. John here. Now you say something, Ben.
Hi, everybody. Ben here. Now you say something, John.
Hello. Is that better?
This whole back and forth thing, that's how we're supposed to do this podcast.
Are we more even? On my side, it looks like I'm louder than Ben, but people said that I should be louder.
Yeah, on my recording, we look to be kind of even.
Evil.
So hopefully on the actual recording, people won't be having the ears bleed by one of us talking.
Evil.
Evil is good. Evil is good. Did you ever see Vampire in Brooklyn?
Yeah, Ben does sound a little tinny. I don't know what's up with that. I can't help him with.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that.
Also, there's an occasional echo, and if you hear that a little bit, I hear it too.
I don't hear it.
It's on my end because it happens when I record on Discord.
Oh,
I think.
Okay. Then
Although
I don't.
Actually, it's getting a lot worse. How is my audio through headset for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Hold on.
I'm holding.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna switch this. Actually,
you're starting to sound better already.
I haven't done anything.
Okay.
I just need to. I need to copy what I have for Skype, which I don't have for this because I use this for everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're hearing doubles and echoes.
Debut.
Okay, so audio, that's Skype microphone, and then that's supposed to go to speakers. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, and now you're quieter. Now I have to change stuff.
Yes. Hello. Hi.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get myself, because I changed where everything's going because I was using just my normal, hey, I'm not recording anything with people talking stuff. And now I'm probably good level-wise, so could you talk a little bit?
Hi, Ben. It's me, John, and I'm here. And this is the show.
Is that actually the volume that you're going to be speaking with?
Hi. I'm talking about topics, hot topics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is it.
Talking about hot, you're coming in hot.
Hot.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? In all honesty, on the recording, we're probably not going to sound the greatest. We're going to go back and forth a little bit.
This is why we don't record on Discord. Bye.
Yeah, because it takes forever to get the thing set up. So next time we record on Skype, it's going to take forever for me to get the thing set up again.
Shots fired at Discord and Skype. Shoot them all. Shoot everybody.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, so if I ever get a house and I actually make an actual recording studio, you can actually come over and we can just record together in the same room.
All right. Patreon.com/AzerothRT.
Yeah, really help out with that, guys.
All right. Well, should we kick this off for real?
Sure. Yeah. Hold on. Let me stop the pre-show recording, which I usually don't use when it's just the two of us, because we're not that funny.
No, it's 100% the guests that carry the show.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, before we actually start, if you guys want to actually jump in and join us on this call-in show, go ahead and hop into our Discord and get yourself all set up in the question lobby.
Yeah, we'll pull you in. You'll ask your question. We'll kick you out, and then if you have additional questions, you can always jump back in. But
yeah,
that'll be the flow. Just make sure that
Exactly.
you're all set up. We'll try and do a little bit of buying time when we pull you in to hopefully get an opportunity to adjust your mics and all of that. But just be ready. Just be ready.
Yeah.
We'll get you. We'll try and tell people when we're gonna get them. But we got a hot question lobby. Ooh, it's so hot.
Well, let's change that to hot question lobby.
The hot question lobby.
There, it is now officially called the hot question lobby.
Sweet.
Yes. Oh, we got someone in there. Okay, cool. Well, hey, John, I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off. So, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 247. My name is Ben Bumhofer. It is Friday night. It is time in Azeroth for us to talk to you, the listeners, or the people who are not actually live who sent in questions, or basically anybody who shows up. Because with me this week, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hello, Ben. Today, the roundtable gets much bigger because we are bringing anybody who wants to join in, and we're going to talk about probably some World of Warcraft. But, anytime we say, hey, you can ask us questions, we get many different topics and types of questions, which we are happy to answer. The only thing, so up front, the only thing we will not be talking about is Star Wars, because after this episode is done recording, Ben and I are going to record next week's episode.
Well, let's put it this way. We won't be talking about The Last Jedi.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. We won't talk about Last Jedi. Any other Star Wars is okay. But we're going to record a Last Jedi for our holiday show. That will go up next week. So that will be where all that discussion happens. Other than that, you can ask us whatever. The other thing I feel like we should just talk about real quick before we dive into it, because we already have people wanting to talk, is Patreon. We mentioned it last week, and there was a big to-do, and we said we were going to hold course for now until we had a good idea of what was going to happen. Turns out we know what's going to happen now.
We have a really good idea of what's going to happen.
They have decided to completely reverse the decision. They're not doing the fees thing, so as of right now, the Patreon is staying exactly as it was, unchanged. And, Ben and I, there's still stuff we would like to do with it that we will probably get to, so there could be changes, but it's still going to be a per episode payment model. Nothing's going to have to move or shift or change, and we appreciate everybody for sticking with us through all of this stuff.
Yeah, we do appreciate it quite a bit. The last bit of news or info or whatever that we need to do before we actually jump right into this is we are recording off of Discord, so if things sound different than they usually do, that's why.
Yep.
Yeah, simple as that.
All right.
So, John, personally, I think that we should probably start off with the first person who jumped into our hot question lobby, who is a return caller. So what? Long-time listener, couple-time caller, would you say she is?
Long-time listener, frequent question asker, and now available to talk to.
Yes. Hi, Alessander. How's it going?
Hi, guys. I didn't actually have a question, but since I'm here, how do you guys like to decorate your Christmas tree? Have you guys got one up yet? Do you use like tinsel, or do you use like handmade ornaments, or lots of tinsel and glitter? What do you guys do?
All right. Well, first of all, thank you very much for your question. We will move you back to the general. If you want to come back in with another question later, we'll go ahead and tell you or jump into the hot question log.
Yep.
But John, so we never actually talked too much about how we like to decorate trees, like not just on the show, but just in general, because as everybody knows, Christmas tree decorating is a very kind of personal thing, because everybody has their own ideas of what it should be.
Sure.
I know that sounded really weird with me saying that, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's
everybody
okay.
has their hopes and dreams of what they want on the tree. So, what would your perfect tree have?
So first of all, I guess I should say that I don't have a Christmas tree. Just apartment living and all of that. It's just not a thing that I have. But when we have decorated at my parents' house in the past, it's usually a lot of lights and ornaments. Like that's kind of the main focus. And to me, I like a lot of multicolored lights and I like a lot of ornaments. The more sentimental or tied to things you like, meaning the better. I like when ornaments have kind of a bit of a story, at least beyond like, and this year I bought this ornament. It can sometimes tie to your year that you've had and all of that, but uh,
Well,
the
what's your favorite ornament that you have, or that you've had with at your parents' tree or whatever?
I mean, it's Han shooting Greedo.
The sentimental time when there was murder
Do
at a
you
bar.
remember the time when Han shot Greedo in the Mos Eisley Cantina? Oh, what a glorious day that was. I don't. The thing is I don't have many ornaments. I mean, I guess if I was saying, from my dad's, there are these still preserved somehow gingerbread ornaments that we baked. I don't know what they put them in, but they remain, and it was from my very first Christmas. And even though I was very young at the time, I can still remember making them. Or I guess it wasn't my very first Christmas, it was probably like my second or third. And I can still remember making them and painting them and all of that. So that was probably those are probably my favorite ornaments.
Okay. See, I am a big fan of yes, multicolored lights as well, but I like the white lights mixed in. Like I love a mixture of it. I think it looks really good and kind of classier that way.
Sure.
As for ornaments and everything, I'm all for ornaments. And Nevermore and we have a lot of different ornaments. Part of it is she loves to look at like all the yearly Hallmark things, and we kind of collect together. So like the big things that I'm collecting are basically, hey, there's a new Star Wars ship pretty much every year. So that's my big goal, is to always get the Star Wars ships. Then we have like kind of geeky things that we both love. Like usually there's an Indiana Jones ornament, maybe a Harry Potter ornament that comes out. We kind of look at them, kind of decide what we want and everything. And if it makes a noise, cool. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Whatever. If it lights up, cool. Doesn't have to. But we're all for like the geeky stuff that we love. Ornaments just packed full on the tree.
I guess my only thing is I'm anti tinsel.
Oh yeah, tinsel's the worst.
I'm anti tinsel. I'm anti popcorn, even though it's traditional.
I've never done popcorn on a tree.
I just don't like the idea of it. I don't like the idea of popcorn that didn't go in my mouth. And
Okay.
I also do not like the all blue lights.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Like, I think
But
there's a classiness to all white lights, but all blue lights, it just makes me look like the story you're trying to tell me is I wanted to celebrate Christmas, but then I got sad.
yeah. And as for tinsel, if you have animals, don't use tinsel. It's really bad.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, since we've got someone in the hot question lobby, should we just pull him right in?
Yeah, let's go back to the hot question lobby.
Yeah. And now the hot question lobby is a fun place to hang out, but we do prefer that you have a question. So, with that being said, God's ego, what's your question? And also, welcome to the show.
Hey man, it's Joe B.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hey. So here's the question I have. Let me bring this up.
Okay.
Do you guys ever worry that with the way that everybody loves Blizzard? I mean, I live by my launcher, but then I look at like and here's the storm. There's no API released, and we have to just judge it. And then we get 2 heroes and a couple tints, and it's $50. Hearthstone is over basically $500 just to get competitive. Do you ever worry that we as a community give them some passes on things where maybe like in other games we would be like, hey, EA type thing?
Okay.
That is a
I worry about that we just let them pass because I love Blizzard. I mean, I want to go to BlizzCon next year. I want to do it. And I mean, if they charge me $300, I'd probably pay it. But is it worth some of the things that they're bringing on the cost? I don't think 2 heroes and 2 skins with a whole bunch of tents is worth $50.
Okay,
that's
very
a
good question.
super good question.
Yeah, thank you very much for asking, and we'll answer in one moment here. So, the thing about Blizzard is that first and foremost, like John, you and I, we are definitely fanboys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Even though people don't think I am, but yes.
that's so true. So, I mean, the thing about fanboys is that you're always going to give some sort of, pass to a certain level. Although John, I would say that I mean, you're definitely between the two of us the more outspoken on everything. Like, first of all, what's your take on all this?
So, yeah, I think we give them way too big of a pass on some things. And one of the things on this show that it's probably the most hate mail messages that I've ever gotten, including even a bit of an argument with Ben when it happened, was when they announced that they were upping the price for the expansion for Warlords of Draenor. And at the time, I went on the show and I complained up a storm and I said, this is ridiculous. I can't believe that they're charging more for this expansion. And to me, the issue wasn't necessarily that they had decided to raise the price, because I understand things get more expensive. But the issue was that Warlords of Draenor, from the outside, to me, looked like an incredibly feature-light expansion. And everybody was giving them the benefit of the doubt and giving them a free ride and saying, oh, no, it'll be fine. And, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Oh.
And I think they got too big of a pass on that. Now, I think they got too big of a pass on what they charge for cosmetic helmets. And I think it's unfortunate that Blizzard learned the wrong lesson from that. I think they feel like, oh, people aren't interested in paying real money for cosmetics. I don't think that's true. I think what they learned is people don't want to pay that much for cosmetics. I feel like Hearthstone had a similar route with the heroes you could pay for. People didn't want to pay for a friggin' PNG file of a new hero and spend, $10 or $15 or whatever it is for that.
But it's slightly animated, John. Slightly.
So it was one of those things where I feel like Blizzard learns the wrong lesson a lot from that. I don't think they realize that, price is one of the bigger issues, or maybe they just don't care and they're like, yeah, we'll make our money from it. But I think, generally speaking, why we give them so much of a pass is because, on the whole, I don't feel like we're taken advantage of. Whether you like Heroes of the Storm loot boxes or not, when you compare that to the loot boxes in an EA game like Battlefield 2 or Battlefront 2, it's night and day. One is giving you power upgrades. It's gaming the system to try to get as much money out of you as humanly possible. There's no real good, quick, easy way to earn it. And I feel like Heroes is the exact opposite of that. Blizzard's prices are high. They are in many ways the Disneyland and the Disney of gaming. You're paying a premium. But generally speaking, I feel respected as a consumer by Blizzard for the most part. And I think it's that goodwill that gives them a bit of a pass.
And I do agree with you a lot on that. In fact, I was going to, bring up Battlefront as well, because I'm not playing that game at all because of the loot box system and the progression and everything on that. Now, something like Heroes of the Storm is, it's a game that I do enjoy from time to time. I mean, granted, the froms are really long stretches of time, but it is something that I like. Now, they have the ability to sell me a hero outright, which is good. Although I still like the idea of just being able to put the money in as opposed to having to buy a currency in order to get the money, and then I have extra to spend on something else. And I mean, that's a whole other discussion. But because of that, I'm happier with that. And since it's a completely free to play game, I'm happy giving Blizzard my money to help support it because it's something that I really enjoy. Now, the way that they have the loot box system, the fact that stuff that you can, throw actual money down for is in the loot box is great. In fact, how everybody got a free holiday loot box?
Yeah.
I saw someone, I forget who, but someone on Twitter like, oh, I'm really happy with mine because they got Hanzo, which is the hero that just came out. There's always the option of, or not the option, but there's always the chance of a really cool new hero coming out from just a random loot box. You don't need like a legendary one or anything like that. And because you have those chances in there, I am much more forgiving if I'm playing the game and I get loot box and there's kind of crap in there, which I have to say, Heroes has a lot of extra stuff in there that fills the loot boxes, but they need to have all that stuff in there because people who play like John, I'm sure you probably get a few loot boxes a week just based on how often you play.
Yeah,
so
I played a few games today and I got 4 loot boxes today.
Yeah, and because of that, I mean, you're going to need voice lines and sprays and just tons of stuff to unlock across the board. Whereas me, I'm like, okay, well, I got a loot box. I don't play the game as often. Well, I didn't really get what I wanted, but I have a way to focus in and get the things that I want. So, like, that's good. Something like Overwatch, where everything is entirely cosmetic, I'm fine with that too, because everything is entirely cosmetic. Yeah, I would love to have a skin of, I don't know, Orisa wearing Reinhardt's armor. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. That's really cool, but it's something that I don't need in order to actually, progress the gameplay and stuff. I am a little bummed that you can't just buy what you want with that. But again, at the same time, you're getting loot boxes pretty frequently. And now that they have the kind of bad luck of if you haven't gotten something yet, you have more of a chance of getting that than duplicate. I am actually getting a lot of new stuff all the time. So that just raises my chances of getting the things I want even more. So, yeah. I can't really speak too much on Hearthstone. Just again, I mean, it's a card game. That card games have always, CCGs and TCGs and whatever. They've always been, random stuff. So
yeah, I kind of feel like Hearthstone does a really good job for what it is, but I also think with Hearthstone, I think most people who are into TCGs understand that at some point you're putting in a monetary investment in the game, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it kind of comes with the territory.
Yep. And then last but not least, I mean, there's WoW, and StarCraft too, but they're done for now until StarCraft 3 comes out, mostly, except for the commanders and stuff. But anyways, we're not talking about that. But I mean, when the price did raise, John, you were right. You did tell us so, and that's perfectly fine. I do agree with you on that. Legion, I think, totally justified that new price point, and hopefully, Battle for Azeroth can as well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any complaints for Legion. It seemed big and it seemed fine, and it didn't seem like a bigger issue. It also had been the second time, and like, let's be real, when somebody does something you don't like, it bugs you right away, and then when they do it the second time, you're like, well, now it's just kind of expected, and they kind of get a pass at that point. But I still felt a little burned by Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah. And then just as a really quick follow-up, God's Ego in the chat room did say that his issue with Blizzard is that they won't release the percentages of stuff when China actually added a requirement that Blizzard used a workaround to avoid it. Which, yeah, I mean, I can see that as kind of like an odd move for them, because generally they've been very out and open with everybody about a lot of their solutions with stuff. But seeing like percentage chances of getting certain things and stuff, personally, I don't think that's really needed, especially if like there's bad luck, karma mixed in and stuff. Your chances technically could be altered all the time and stuff. So I don't know. That's just my
I
idea.
understand why people want it. It's not a feature I care about, but it means something to the people that it means something to, and for them, I think they should have it. To me, I'm never like, well, knowing the percentage is a big difference between whether I buy this or not. Like, honestly, I either buy them or I don't. Is kind of where it boils down to for me.
Yeah. Well, God's Ego, thank you very much for the question. That was something that I didn't actually expect us to cover.
And I did see Bagheera in the hot question lobby for a bit. If we jump back in unless we answered your question or it went away or something. But in the meantime, I think we have a returning question. Asker.
All right. Well, let's bring Alessander back in because Alessander, frequent question asker, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back.
Good to be here. I do have a question, but I do think that you should probably take the question that's in general before you take mine. I can read it if you like.
Yes,
Oh,
read it, and
sure.
we'll pretend like you are asking it now.
Okay. It's from Allie, strangely enough.
Okay.
If you had to pick only one Blizzard game to play for the rest of your gaming life, which would you choose and why?
All right, hold on. I'm glad you're here because I have follow-up questions. I have questions of my own that I need answered. So, is this going to be updated, or are we drawing a line here and saying, nope, this is it? The game as it currently stands is the game that you will be playing.
I don't know what they intended by that, but I would say right now, today, with occasional tweaks and patches.
Okay.
And we'll, you know what? Let's say the tweaks and patches would be just like, say, bug fixes and maybe balancing. So no technically new content.
Okay, let's move Alessander back to the hot question lobby for now. We'll answer that one. We'll get you back in just a minute. Here and now.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Allie is in the chat and is saying, as it is here and now, it's cut off. We're not getting anything new. You just get one.
Okay. Well, I have a feeling like I want to just blatantly say that yours is going to be Heroes of the Storm.
Oh,
like, is that right?
Are we going to predict for each other?
No, I'm just saying. This is just what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, mine's Heroes of the Storm. It is a game that, while I think I would probably have ultimately more to do in World of Warcraft, it's certainly the biggest of the games, so it's kind of the smarter choice of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I do so much with friends and have such a good time in Heroes that it's just always new. It's just endlessly repeatable, and I can go off and play other games and always come back to that and feel good about it.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't say World of Warcraft either, because mainly I'm in it for the story, and if it's over, then there's not that much draw for me. I mean, yeah, I could go through, get all the achievements, or play alts or something like that, and that's fun and great and dandy and stuff, but it's just something that's, if it actually has a finality, I'm kind of done with it,
Yeah, I'm the same
and
way.
I love WoW. I do. And that's one of the reasons why I'm always excited for new expansions and everything and taking my characters through and all that. But yeah, if they announced today that Legion was the last expansion, then after this raid, it's over. It's like, after I'm done with the raid, I might just end.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Hey, Bagheera's back. We should grab Bagheera.
But first, let me answer my question really quick.
Okay.
Or answer the question.
Right. You've only told me what you're not going to pick.
Yeah. I probably do Overwatch just because I do like first-person shooters.
You're crazy.
A lot of fun.
All right.
I know. I like the amount of maps and stuff they have. I love playing the different characters, and I love that game.
Sure, it's a rollicking good time, I guess.
It is for me. Anyways, he's jumped in and out a couple times, and I'm assuming it's because real life is spotty, or possibly you're running away from, I don't know, street thugs or something. But Bagheera, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Howdy.
No, it's something I've plagued your chat room with this for a long time. It's something that I'm obsessed with and drives me frigging nuts is Star Wars Galaxies. I feel like the systems that were in that game, I don't understand how 10 years later we can't have the things that were in that game. If I told someone, my guild today, it's like, hey, let's all jump in X-Wings right now and go attack a Star Destroyer with like flight sticks. That sounds really freaking cool. It sounds like everyone would jump on that immediately. The crafting system in there where we could, everything had a quality percentage to it, and depending on where you set your harvesters and the quality level of the what you got out of the harvester affected the end products, and you would trade with other people, and you could set up your own store in your own town with the guilds like CTR and AIE. You can imagine like what we could actually do with cities and things like that. And it's like all that's gone, and I don't see that happening. And I if they can marry Warcraft with those other systems, it would just be unbelievable.
Okay, well, I kind of see where you're going with this, and I'm going to bump you to the other chat room really quick so we can answer this, because, John, I have a lot to say. So, Bagheera, thank you very much for your question, and we will talk about that. So, John,
Yes.
you and I played
Hi.
Star Wars Galaxies quite a bit.
Hi, Ben. Yes, we did.
We played through a couple different iterations of it.
Yes, we played the original and we played the the whatever they call it, new game experience.
Yeah, like the third version of it or something, because the
Yeah.
second one basically ruined the game.
Yeah.
And some would say the third one did too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so my experience with Star Wars Galaxies was I made a Wookiee because, you know, Wookiees are awesome. But more so, I wanted to be a master droid engineer because, John, if there's anything you know about me in Star Wars, it's that I love droids.
This is true.
Yes. So my whole like path in that game is to go through the whole artisan pathway and then become a master droid engineer. All of my experience points, all of my skill points, everything went into be able to making droids. Because of this, I had an entirely different gameplay experience than John did. John, what did you do in game?
I wanted to be a bounty hunter, and so I was really good with laser pistols and bounty hunting skills.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you know, hunting and bounties.
Yes.
Those skills. So one day, a group of us, this was back when we worked together, and we had a whole bunch of people in our store who also played Star Wars Galaxies. Actually, no, our stores, because this was when we were actually in different stores, and we were basically trying to bring everybody together to do stuff.
Oh, this was still when we were. Oh, no, this was when we were still in Flagstaff.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Anyways, so well, one day it was all, okay, everybody, let's go crate dragon hunting on Tatooine. So I said, okay, this will be really cool. So me, the guy who only builds stuff, went on a hunt of like, think World Quest style dragon, like from that happened during the anniversary. So not something easy to do. But I went with everybody, and I could contribute nothing because my combat skills weren't there because I was a droid engineer. The droids I made, unfortunately, didn't really have combat modules, except they could go and like stun things, but then they'd like take a hit and die. Even when I was making probe droids and doing all this other stuff. And while it is kind of cool that, you know, there is different qualities of ore and different things like that, that turned into an actual second job for me in order to be able to do anything in that game, because I had to go out, I had to check my harvesters, I had to keep dumping money in them in order to have them go. And I mean, it was like I actually owned a small business. I had people who placed orders for droids, which I did what I could to fulfill them and everything. And it turned into something that I absolutely hated because it was just no longer fun for me. The thing that I wanted to do was, you know, create droids, go out, adventure, be in the Star Wars universe. And it turned into, oh, I'm just a shop owner. And I'm sorry, but adventuring as a shop owner isn't all that great.
So, counterpoint. I think I'm 100% with Bagheera. I think that it's a shame that when World of Warcraft hit, everybody said, let's copy that and let's not do anything like what had been done before. Because, real talk, and I'm not speaking at the time, so there is a little bit of, well, of course things got better, but also we weren't that far from World of Warcraft, which we're still playing today.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Galaxies is a ugly-ass game. It looked awful. It didn't even look that great at the time. And on top of that, it played even worse. It looked bad, it played bad, but it had so many really cool ideas in it. And I do think it's a shame that there are not enough games out there exploring the idea of what is it like to be a part of a world, as opposed to just like, here's a on rails arcade experience where everybody's kind of the same but a little bit different. Go through, do the same quests, see the same story, do the same things, level up, fight the same bosses. There's a
just one thing that I will say is that if you were to take some of those systems from Star Wars Galaxies, like how pretty much every item did have to be crafted, so there was actual like meaningful crafting in that game. That is something that WoW could definitely use. Being able to just jump in an X-wing and go attack a Star Destroyer, which you and I never got a chance to do.
No, I never
would be
attacked
really
a
cool.
Star Destroyer, but I did get into their space combat pretty heavily because it was like playing X-wing or TIE Fighter again. So there was
And
actually
I never got into that.
there was a period of time where that was all I did. Was basically my character was a pilot, and that was all I ever did because it was so much fun. So to me, there were a lot of cool ideas. I think Jedi kind of ruined that game. I think it was something that everybody just was investigating. It set a wrong goal and tone for that game. I don't think Jedi should have been in it at all. Or that's probably the ultimate answer. Is it probably they shouldn't have been in it at all. But
yeah, and there were or the best parts that the most fun that I did have was the random Imperial / Rebel like RPing that happened on the server that we were on. I don't know if you were with me or not, but it was at one point where I was just in a cantina in Theed, and again, I was a Wookiee, just there having fun, taking a drink, whatever, watching the dancers or whatever I was doing. I don't even remember. And two Imperial soldiers walked in, sat down, and then all of a sudden they just like started trash talking me because I was a Wookiee, because they were in character, because hey, the Empire doesn't like aliens. And it was pretty awesome, and like a bar fight almost started happening, but I was in an Imperial controlled area, and if I started doing that I would totally die, so I just ended up like getting away and stuff. I mean, we had fun. We had a ton of fun exploring Endor together. Well, I had a ton of fun exploring Endor. You got upset and got killed by Ewoks.
I didn't get killed by Ewoks. I fell in water and couldn't get out, and I swam for like 3 hours and didn't see any Ewoks and was like, no, I'm done. This is the worst vacation I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah, so I mean, there were a lot of neat things, and unfortunately, it is not a game that lasted because it wasn't able to support some of those grandiose ideas that they did have.
So I guess the short answer to your question is I would love to see a game explore these concepts and ideas again. I just today I was catching the last little bit of the instance, and they were talking about how great an expansion Pandaria was. And my comment was, Mists of Pandaria is the most World of Warcraft that World of Warcraft has ever been since vanilla. And I genuinely believe that, and I would like to see more either MMOs or WoW in general go back to feeling like a world again, instead of, like I said, kind of this arcade game where we all kind of share the same experience.
Yeah, I think so. If you want to go ahead and pull Haster in, we can talk to him and see what his question is.
Sure, let's go ahead and get another question from Haster, who's been quite active with typing questions, but now we get to pull him in and ask him a question. Haster, how's it going?
It's going good.
That's good.
Wouldn't mind it being a little bit warmer, but this is winter in the Northern Hemisphere.
Oh, well, we prefer it to be colder because it's Phoenix in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, it's warm here. Well, no, it's getting better. It took a really long time to get cold.
It's December 15th, and I was wearing shorts today. It's not cold enough.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, what was your question, man?
So I have two. One a serious one a little bit funny. So for the serious one, what do you think about Project 60 and Project 70? And for the silly one, between Darth Sidious, i.e. Emperor Palpatine, and Q, who would win in a fight?
Okay, I'm glad we have you here for this because I have no idea what Project 60 and Project 70 is.
Like, all I could say is Project 70 definitely, because it's 10 more.
Project 60 is playing in the live game as though it was playing only with classic WoW. And then Project 70 is Project 60 plus the Burning Crusade.
I think
No heirlooms, no recruit a friend, no looking for dungeon automatically. You have to do it all by hand, as though you were playing just in that expansion.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your questions. We're going to go ahead and answer those. I am going to draw a lot of ire again because
Wait, John, you draw ire?
because I'm going to once again say that sounds like a stupid waste of time.
Oh, why is that, John?
Now, let me be clear when I'm saying that. If you're some, I didn't even know what it was, but if you're some Project 60, Project 70 fan, that's fine. I'm glad you have things that you like. I'm not saying you're a bad person for liking it. It's just, to me, like, already I'm not on board with classic WoW. Like, I don't think there's any reason to go back to it. I have zero interest in it. So simulating it does absolutely nothing for me. To me, it's the equivalent of like, okay, guys, there's a bad idea that we can't have access to yet, so let's all just pretend that there's a bad idea we can engage in.
But, hopefully that means that they also don't use transmog.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But,
Maybe they do to enhance the experience. I don't know. Like any
no,
good
they
role
can't,
play.
because John, you can only be level 60.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with people. Like look, we've had people in this chat while we've had this conversation. I know we have listeners that are totally in and think that Vanilla WoW was best WoW. I just saw someone today say Burning Crusade was the best expansion. And, bully to those people. I just happen to completely disagree. I think I had a great experience with those games when they were out, but I have no interest in returning to them.
You know what? It kind of goes back to that question before of, which one, if we can only play one with no updates whatsoever. Neither of us said, wow. It's we play through an expansion and we're done with it.
So I think you're kind of in the same boat, but let's twist it based on that. If you had to choose, would you be Project
Pandaria.
60 or Project 70? No,
I'd be Project Pandaria.
You got to pick between these two.
No, I would be Project Pandaria.
Ben, there are two options. You don't get to pick a third. This is the hypothetical.
Okay, if I had to choose, I would choose 70, because then in that case, they would have dailies in the Isle of Kildonis, and I can actually get gold to do things.
Yeah, I'd be 70 as well. Because I continue to believe that WoW gets better when they put out patches and expansions. Even when I don't like the expansion, I think Warlords of Draenor moved the game forward. So
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is as much as you love those old expansions and everything like that, I mean, I don't see just playing through the same expansion over and over again. Like, I'm at the point where I really think that Pandaria is my favorite expansion. Do I want to experience the entire thing over again the way that it was? Like, exactly how it was? No, I played it. I've been through it. The world's evolved and changed after it's happened. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind leveling through some of that content, but not all of the content, because not all of it is perfect. Nothing ever is.
Yeah. And Q versus the Emperor, I think it's actually kind of easy. Q, because he's ridiculously overpowered. It's the same debate as who would win between Batman v Superman. In a just regular, no one's preparing for each other fight, Superman just destroys Batman. That's the reality. But you have to add a bunch of extra rules and extra things to make it intriguing and an interesting fight.
Okay, so let's make it no force powers, no Q powers. Old man Palpatine versus Q.
Well, I mean, he's still got a lightsaber, right? Like,
Yeah, I'd say so, because that's not a force power.
Like then it would go to Palpatine. I don't know. I think Q's probably more interesting than Palpatine. Like even though I'm a diehard Star Wars fan, like the Emperor has never been one of my favorite characters. So
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I have to say that I do like Q in pretty much every iteration that I've seen him in.
yeah,
Even though he was only on Deep Space Nine for like maybe one, possibly two episodes that I can even like vaguely recall, he has been an absolute joy on my viewing of Voyager. I freaking love him on that show.
Q is fun. The Emperor's just sour. Like
Yeah.
nothing about the Emperor is appealing.
No, not at all. Not at all. But with that being said, moving forward, hey, Alessander, welcome to the show.
It was a long road, but we're back to ask you for that question again.
All right, I've developed a second question in case no one comes into the lobby. I am prepared.
Oh,
So my question is, you guys have been to BlizzCon. You've met a lot of the devs and the people there. If someone asked you if you would like a job at Blizzard, what would you say? What kind of job would you take? I know John's an artist. I know Ben's good at interviewing people. Someone needs to talk to Ian Ostakosis. So, what would you guys like to do?
first of all, thank you. That was really nice.
Aw, Ben got a compliment.
Yeah, thank you. And Alessandra, thank you very much for your question. We're gonna. Oh, she moved herself that time.
No, I moved.
Oh, cool. That works. Seriously though, thank you. That was a very nice compliment. I take that to heart, like greatly. John, I know that you've actually applied to work at Blizzard before.
I have.
What was the application for?
Let's go
To
with
work at
what we
Blizzard?
would like to do, Ben. Let's
Okay.
let's not dwell on the sad like realities of the world. Let's go with the flight of fancy that is having fun with the question. And I'm gonna say
I'm sorry. I did not intend to go down a negative road.
it's fine, but like it's just I don't know, it's boring. Like I applied for an entry type position. So
Okay.
it's I would want to do something in storytelling and creative is where I would want to be.
I think that would actually be a really good fit for you. Would you want to go in like actual quest design, or do you think you need to go in the? I mean, now granted, I don't know the actual structure of all of this or anything, but do you think that you'd be more in the overarching, like, overall story of like an expansion?
I think I would be like I would like to do overall lore and story. I would do like, hey, he wrote quests. Like I would certainly do that, but I think like if we're picking our scruples here, I don't think that's
Yeah.
even a phrase. I would say overall is where I'd be.
Overall, okay. And just talking with you about different story ideas and the writing that you've done on your writing show, especially with the Halloween stories that you've done. I mean, you've got an incredibly great imagination, and I think that you could really take WoW in some very interesting places, or even if you're going to tropey places, turn it on its head and make it something new and interesting. So that'd be something that I would actually love to see you do.
Yeah, and it would be either that or I would also love to just do voice acting, which granted wouldn't be a job for Blizzard necessarily. It would be more like contracted by Blizzard, but that would be super
Yeah.
fun too.
Yeah, that'd be neat. You can work with Christy Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I would like to do is, I mean, wow, I don't think I would be very good with quest design or anything like that. I'd love to be in on the story and just be like, hey guys, let's not do that because we've done it in every expansion. But that's where
That
it
your little
ends for me.
backdoor way of saying I'd throw out this entire expansion that's coming up.
I'm not saying that. But I would probably be somewhere in PR. Just kind of going along with the people who are being interviewed, like not necessarily, doing the actual question asking like Lore does, with Ian or anybody else, but kind of hanging out, making sure that at like press events things are going smoothly, taking or fielding questions where I need to, things like that. I think that would be actually a lot of fun because I kind of have a hand in a lot of different areas, and you know, I'd get to meet a lot of different people, whether it's games press or streamers or podcasters or whatever, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Just kind of a social type of uh, employment opportunity. I'd really enjoy that.
Are you saying you want to be where the people are?
Yes, I want to see him dancing. Strolling around on the what's that word again?
Feet.
Oh, feet, right.
You know what? Just a real quick aside. That song's fun. It's fun in The Little Mermaid. It's a
It
good
is.
time. I heard a cover of that song, and it bugs me when I hear a cover of that song because they do the, what's the word when they're singing it? And it's like, you are a musician singing a cover of a song. You know what feet are.
Yeah, I can follow you. Yeah, I'm with you on that, honestly. That's always bugged me. Anytime that it gets to those points where it's like, okay, you're supposed to talk about, you're a mermaid. No, you're a singer.
Yeah, you're a well-known musician singing a cover of a song. You know what feet are. Just sing the song.
Yeah. So anyways, we don't have anybody in the hot question lobby at the moment, but we do have some text questions that are in our Discord that have been kind of piling up here.
Yeah, we should get to
So-
those because that's important.
And Wicked Kitten, it is not legs, it's feet. I guarantee you that it's feet. Anyways.
Wow.
Kinda creepy.
Don't at Ben about Little Mermaid knowledge. He
Yeah,
will put you down.
I know my Little Mermaid.
That
Anyway, so
was- that turned creepy.
yeah, it did.
You're creepy, Ben.
First Discord question. Well, look, Little Mermaid came out when I was in, I think, like first, second grade, something like that. And my mom absolutely loved it, and I loved it too.
It was a very
movie.
formative time.
Yes, very formative time. I had a I don't know, an unhealthy obsession with fish for a while for some reason. Don't know
Weird.
why.
I
Yeah.
just there's just a brief moment where I pictured a sequel to American Pie. Let's go with the first question.
Yes. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. Anyway, so Frasley asked, who would win, Nomi or Ragnaros?
Ragnaros, because Nomi would only feed his fire.
Yeah, I got to go with you on that one. I mean, as much as everybody jokes about Nomi burning stuff and everything like that, the sad truth of it is, it's our fault. We're the ones who trained him.
He learned it by watching us.
Oh, maybe Nomi actually starts the fire in Teldrassil.
I mean, I've seen that meme. Actually, it's already a meme, but it.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, because I've only seen the one where Malfurion's playing with matches.
It's good too.
Yeah, I like that one. Wicked Kitten has a question in the Discord. She asks, "What is your favorite candy?
I think gummy bears, probably.
Is it because they bounce here and there and everywhere?
Yes. How did you know the song was stuck in my head as I said that?
Because the way you said it, you almost said the gummy bear
Gummy bears.
bouncing here and there and everywhere."
I don't know the words. I always just say gummy bears here and there and everywhere as if somebody like opened the bag in a real sloppy manner and it just went all over the place.
Yeah, you leave out the bouncing, so it's not as good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Wicked Kitten, you don't have to apologize for being wrong about a song.
I like that you found a way to work it into the show. That way there's absolutely no doubt that you were right on the Little Mermaid trivia.
Yeah, it's all right.
Ben, what's your favorite candy?
Oh yeah, I need to answer that, don't I?
Yeah.
So I think my favorite candy is no longer available again, and that is, and I'm surprised because I'm a big fan of gummy bears. I also really like peanut butter M&Ms, but peanut butter Twix is the best version of Twix. Unfortunately, you can't really find it anywhere again. Now, there's been a couple different versions of this over the years. The kind that I like is you take a normal Twix, but instead of caramel, it's peanut butter. They've also had like a dark chocolate version where the cookie part was like chocolate, and no, that's not what you do. Just regular peanut butter Twix. Best candy there is. And it's gone, John.
I mean, like so many good things.
Yeah. Why did the things I love have to die?
Like you know what I liked? Butterfinger BBs. Those were great. Now
Those were pretty good too.
Now they just have Butterfinger bites, and it's not the same. They're messy and they're crappy.
Yeah, the BBs, they were circles. They were really easy to just kind of, shove a couple in your mouth. They were very tasty.
Yeah.
Except, and I don't know what it is about them. I like them a lot more than I liked an actual Butterfinger bar.
Me too. The ratio was correct. There's a ratio, and it had it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because you have a Butterfinger bar, and the Butterfinger bits get stuck to your teeth in such a way that it's uncomfortable. And then you're just tasting Butterfinger for like the rest of the day. It's not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Unsettled would like to know, will John ever join a trash pull?
So the real answer is yes. I actually will help with trash far more frequent than the show would have you believe. But for anybody who's wondering, yes, I do legitimately hide from trash from time to time. The problem is I get so incredibly bored fighting trash that I just look for anything else that I might have to do. Oh, I left the stove on. Like, it's just mind-numbingly boring, and I will just walk away from it. But it's not every pull. It's just every now and then. Usually it's like if there's 4 trash pulls up to a boss, it'll usually be for one of them. And the other problem is when it started to become a joke on the show, other people started doing it, and when other people started doing it, it became a legitimate problem. So I had to go back to starting to actually do it. I had a good sense of what I needed to help with and what I didn't need to help with, and other people didn't always have that sense. It's the same as Spoils of Pandaria. I used to joke about opening boxes, and it became public knowledge, and other people on the team started trying to do it too, and it caused a couple wipes. And
yeah, Civ ruins everything.
I wasn't gonna name Civ specifically, but was totally Civ. And that's just the problem, is that there's a method to my madness. I tend to troll my team a bit,
but it's always in a fun way.
I try to keep it fun and not actually ruin anybody's experience. I think the closest was ever when I really was dead set on blowing Ben up during a Molten Core run, and I did legitimately hit way more people than I intended to.
You legitimately wiped the raid.
So that's probably the only time, but it was gonna happen, and honestly, I blame Ben for being around all those people because he knew it was coming.
No, I didn't really, because that was the first time I've been in before. That's true, John. Then other times, yes, I did run around because I didn't want to get hit. Yeah. So Oni has a question. I actually really like this one. I'm going to tell the story first before you ask the question here. Oni says, I'll never forget one that happened. Okay, I guess I have to ask the question because we're using the noun game. Okay, so Oni asks, what is a defining memory for you in WoW? Something you did or something that happened to you? Did you save the raid from a wipe? Was the entire dungeon group dead and you soloed the boss? I'll never forget one that happened to me in Wrath. My entire group died to the Devourer of Souls in the Forge of Souls. It was just me, a hunter, left. I frantically turned my pet Tauntaun and miraculously managed to solo him down from 10%. My pet died and the boss was chasing me around the room. I had to open my bags and find a health pot while kiting because I was a noob and didn't know you could keybind consumables. My group were on Skype with me and all on the edge of our seats. Don't think I've ever shaken that much while playing a game. That is an awesome story, by the way.
It's very good.
And of course, you were able to do it because you were a hunter, because hunters are OP, which is cool. But John, did you ever have a defining, I know you've had many defining memories in WoW, but what's one of them that you've had that maybe you haven't shared before?
I was trying to think of one that I haven't shared, and I honestly, most of the ones that immediately come to mind I have shared, and this might be the case with this one as well. But I'm going to go ahead and tell this one anyway, especially because Ben's here to verify the story before people are like, oh, look at Fancy John, the braggart. There was a period of time, believe it or not, where Ben and I and another friend of ours were all on an arena team together.
Oh God!
And we would
This is one
regularly
of my worst times in WoW.
and we would regularly do PvP arenas. We'd do 3v3s. And poor Ben, as the mage, would frequently just get blown up because I was a rogue and stealthed, and my friend was a druid, and he would frequently start in cat form stealthed. So the gates would open, and out comes a squishy little mage.
Yep, and then 3 people would just kill me.
But in this particular case, the way it panned out is the gates opened, and it was 3 hunters versus the 3 of us. And we did the best we could, but Ben and my other friend died relatively early in the fight, and the stealthed rogue did not want to give up the fight, even though it looked grim.
We were
And-
cheering for you, by the way.
And I appreciate it, because one by one, I picked them off Predator style, and we won the arena match.
Yeah, they were throwing out flares everywhere, just all over the place.
And I would just hide. I would stand behind pillars and bandage when I could, and just bit by bit, 3 hunters stood and 3 hunters fell that day. And I've never felt cooler, and I will never feel as cool again.
I've never felt more alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Side note, before I actually tell my defining moment, that same friend and I, we tried duos at one point. So it was him and me, and we went up against a druid, and I don't even remember. So we got to the point where our friend was dead, and the non-druid, whatever that was dead. So it was just me and the druid back and forth. The druid was a Healy druid. Oh no, they were Moonkin. And of course, me being a mage. We were both pretty much out of mana. So we were standing in front of each other, just smacking each other with our weapons, just waiting until one of us could get mana to cast something. So the druid would get enough mana and then cast, regrowth, whatever their hot is on them. And I would have enough mana to spell steal. So I would just spell steal the heal off of them, and it was just enough to keep both of us alive. So they would heal up a tiny bit, then I would steal it and heal up for the rest of the amount of the time. And then finally it got to the point where I'm like, oh, this is stupid. So instead of spell stealing, I just let them have it for a little bit longer. I got just enough mana to cast a fireball or a scorch or something, and then just hit them with that, and then they died. And seriously, that match lasted for probably 15 to 20 minutes. Mind you, we were beating each other for about maybe, 12 to 17 of that.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But no, my actual defining memory, though, I don't know if I've talked about this on the show before, but if I have, it's been a long time, so congratulations, newer listeners. It was the first year that I was a max character and the summer festival happened. It was when, the campfires were up. I think it might have actually been new that year. I don't remember. But so I went around to, do all the different campfires and everything, go around, have fun with it and stuff. And the thing is, this is the first time that I ever went to the Alliance cities. And I didn't even know that there was something more than just, you go to the Alliance city, then you get some more of the petals or leaves or whatever the currency is you get for it. So I'm going in, I'm sneaking into all of these different cities, and this is long before before flying in Old World and everything like that. So I'm riding in, going in as far as I can. I'm a mage still, so I don't have that great defense. So I'm hitting invis when I can and hide and kind of darting around and around. And I died a couple times in all the different cities except for one. The one place I didn't die was Stormwind, and I was surprised because I got in, I got the fire, and immediately I ran, away as fast as I could. I hopped in one of the canals and then just started swimming to get away. And I guess like the guards finally, like I was far enough away from them or something, but they stopped attacking me. And there was just this one PvP person just trying to kill me this entire time. So finally, somehow, I figured his way or my way away from him as well. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, my hearth takes this long to cast. A teleport spell takes this long to cast. I'm going with the teleport because I had like a lot of haste or something. So I'm underneath a bridge. My air is running out. I'm like trying not to be killed by some random PvP player, right? And then all of a sudden, there we go. All of a sudden, I'm casting. He sees me, and I see his pet get summoned, and then poof, I'm gone and out of there. And I lived. And it was great.
It's very dramatic at the end.
Yeah. And well, and the funny thing is too, is like I was totally like getting into this, sneaking into the cities and stuff. And so I crafted myself like a whole black ninja outfit to wear and everything. I had so much fun with that. And so after I went through, and finished all 4 of the cities, I got the crown, and I had no idea that that was actually a thing. So I was so happy about that, and then bummed that I could never wear it in combat because transmog wasn't a thing yet, and I actually needed my headpiece because again, fragile mage. So, but no, that was really cool. So I had a lot of fun with that.
All right, well, I gotta say this. Alessandra has a question she wants to ask so bad she changed her name to it. So let's pull her in real quick, and we'll get the question from her specifically.
Yeah, and we'll call this last question tonight. So, Alessandra, thank you again for joining us on the show. And what is this mystery question you have to ask us?
Well, I've been listening to you guys for a really long time now, and I feel like I know you very well, but I don't really know you at all. So I was wondering, how did you two meet?
Well, thank you very much for asking. That is a really simple story, actually.
It's easy.
So
we're in on an easy one.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I graduated high school. I moved up to Flagstaff, Arizona to go to Northern Arizona University. After a year or so, I ended up getting a job at GameStop, which at the time it was Software Etc. Just a store inside the mall. I'm like, I like video games. Cool. So I'm there working, and all of a sudden, this goofy-looking kid and his friend come into the store, and my boss is like, "Oh, these guys are cool." And John, do you know who that goofy-looking kid was?
Blake.
Yep, it was our friend Blake. And then John was with him. Yeah. So, I mean, for a while, you were a customer and stuff, and you'd come in probably, I'd say about maybe or so, just to kind of hang out and stuff. Yeah. We talked about video games, which, believe it or not, we both like them.
I know. And we had similar interests, as it turns out. 2 people in a video game store were both into games.
Yeah, and then we found out that we both like Star Wars.
Weird.
Yeah. And then I know we talked about it on the show before, but I ended up being the hiring manager or hiring assistant manager who hired John, not knowing that he already had a job at the store, and that I was just being the formal interviewer and everything.
Yep.
So
I was already told I had a job, but they need a interview on file, and so I was told I had the job. Ben was told do an interview. I think mostly as like a, hey, here's some practice with this, and unfortunately he had me as his first interview.
I had no idea that he had already gotten the job, so I was being all serious with it. And John, you were kind of jokey about it, but I mean, you were semi-professional and stuff. It was fine.
Yeah, as professional as a person in shorts and flip-flops for their job interview could be.
Yeah, it was fine though. It was fine. So yeah, and then we started working together, and this is when we found out that if we were to play Super Smash Bros. Melee together, we would essentially mirror each other's moves if we both chose Link.
Oh, our Smash Brothers matches were so good because we played on the Smash Brothers demo, so it didn't have all the characters unlocked. And so with limited characters to pick, we both ultimately ended up being Link most of the time. And we would actually draw little crowds when Ben and I played each other because we were so on the same page with how we played that it would just be like, okay, they both land, they both jump, they both pull out a bomb, they throw. The bombs would hit at the exact midpoint of the stage, bounce off each other. They both bounce away, fire an arrow. The arrows pass each other in the sky. Like, it was just like watching a mirror image play because we played so much of it, and we both mained Link, and we both played exactly the same way.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, we had a ton of fun working there. John ended up moving down to Phoenix and everything. We, stayed friends and had fun and stuff. And then after I moved back down, we ended up hanging out more often, and just we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, we worked together, and Ben was my boss. Then I moved, and then Ben worked for my dad. Then we both got different jobs where we just worked together, and now we have separate jobs.
But we live in the same apartment complex.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's how that works.
Ben's been around, or I've been around.
Oh.
Something like
You
that.
said Ben twice.
Yeah,
that's a funny joke.
It's a double Ben.
Ah. So yeah, everybody, thank you very much for joining us, and especially asking all the questions. Sorry we didn't get to all of them in the Discord.
I don't
Text
know.
part,
I think
yeah.
we could get through the last two really quick. What do you say we just
Okay.
do the last two super fast?
Hold on, let me scroll back up really quick. Okay.
Because it kind of we've already done.
Oh,
most
there's
of the
more than
ones
just
below.
two.
Okay, why don't we do Jamero's and Oni's second one?
Oh, okay. Not the who's your daddy and what does he do?
No, because he asked a real one after
Who
that.
is your daddy and what does he do? Okay. Let's see. Is there a potential it will become your... Oh, I missed the... What allied race class combo are you looking forward to playing? Is there a potential it will become your new main?
Well, Ben.
Well, I am going to be definitely making a High Mountain Tauren Druid to replace Turf. And I am going to be making a new Nightfallen Elf who is a mage to not completely replace my Blood Elf mage, but to take over my maging story. Whether she's going to become my new main or not, I don't think so, because I'm really digging the monk a whole ton. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, ending the story with my old main mage and carrying on with some new blood.
Yeah, I'm going to do a High Mountain Tauren Druid for sure because I don't have a Druid currently. I'm going to be doing a Nightborn as well. I'm probably going to do a Rogue. Nightborn go off of a similar model and animation style of Night Elves, and I think Night Elves with that are up in melee with weapons and armor and stuff just looks super, super cool. So that's kind of where I'm leaning, but I've already got a warrior and I've already got a rogue, and so I'm not sure if I'll do a different class. I would say the Nightborn has a chance to become a main. I will also probably be rolling a Void Elf rogue on the Alliance side, just to have a Void Elf rogue on the Alliance side, and to continue some headcanon story stuff for me. But there is no chance that Alliance Toon will become my main.
All right. And then last question is for you, John, so I don't get to answer it at all.
Yep, you don't. This one is for John. If you could bring your rogue into Heroes of the Storm, what would their kit be? So I actually think Valera's kit is fantastic for a rogue. It really feels like playing a rogue, and so I kind of feel like I already have my character with Valera because it just feels super roguey. But if you were to say, okay, if I was going to get down to the nitty gritty of what my character is, my character typically fights with rapiers and a pistol. And so there's also an element of Greymane minus the turning into a giant werewolf part. So I don't know, maybe something along that. But I think ultimately Valera is a fantastic rogue kit, and I have a ton of fun on that character. And the alternate skins actually look like my WoW rogue, so I kind of feel like I already got what I wanted.
Well, hey, there you go. All right. Again, everybody, thank you very much for your questions. We really do appreciate it. And hope you had fun, because I know I definitely... John?
I had a great time. I like doing this.
Me too. Me too. And next time that we are planning on doing this, we'll definitely give you much more notice, because this was kind of a... after the movie last night, we're like, oh, crap, what are we doing tomorrow?
Right. Show. We do a show.
Yeah. So, with that being said, until next episode, John, where can people find you?
If you want to hear more from me, follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger, or catch me talking about Heroes of the Storm on Core,
Core!
which is part of the Frog Pants Network at heroesforyou.com. Ben,
John.
the Mage,
That's me.
where can people find you?
The best place to find me actually is on Twitter. I'm at Ben the Mage. I do another show with Eludra called Battle Pets, where we talk about battle pets for the world, or in the World of Warcraft. Not for the World of Warcraft, that'd be a little weird. You know, the dev team is sending pets out to fight people.
Expect a snake in the mail.
That'd be kind of weird and crazy. Anyways, check that out. You can also check out my YouTube. Just do a search for Ben Bumhofer, because I'm not cool enough to have enough subscribers to actually have my own specific link yet. And I did say that I was going to be streaming more, but hey, guess what? It's been a busy week. But I will be streaming more, and you can always find that at twitch.tv/Ben Bumhofer. With that being said, make sure to check out our Twitter page for the show. It's Azeroth Roundtable or Azeroth RT. I'm just screwing up all over the place now. But our website is AzerothRoundtable.com. If you have any other questions, you can always email those to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And of course, you can find all of our episodes on our website, as well as on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Alpha Geek Radio, and a bunch of other places that you can find fine podcasts. I got away from you there, John.
Hey, you tried. That's what matters, Ben. It's about the try.
Yeah.
Yoda
Exactly.
once said, "It's all about the try."
Yep. Like, you're trying, good for you. That's what he said.
It's my favorite Yoda quote. It's all about the trying, man.
Yeah.
Okay, hey everybody. This show is made possible by the patrons who support us. And we have some new patrons that we're very excited to have joining the team. They're actually both part of the Murloc Club, which is huge. I had no idea we were going to get this much support for the Murloc Club, because that's a lot of support. And so a big thank you. We thanked him last week. I'm going to thank him again, because Murloc Club gets special shout outs anyway. Gary
Yeah.
W. and Avarik W. It's all about the W's.
Oh!
Thank you for being new patrons. And as always, a special thank you to the rest of the Murloc Club, Aaron and Simon. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate it. Ben, give him a quick Murloc.
Boy. You said quick.
I know, it was good. I liked it. One last thing, because of all the Patreon madness, I've kind of been hesitant to post anything for this month. Now that we know that that's been cleared up, I'm going to go ahead and get those posts put up. So just if you suddenly see a bunch of episodes going up, that's what happened. I haven't done any for December, so I'm going to be doing that this weekend, and that's your heads up. And I warned you. You've all been told. But thank you again for your support.
Told.
Patreon.com/AzerothRT. That's the place to support us. We're happy it all worked out with Patreon.
Yes. John, it has been a pleasure talking to you as always. Chat room, you were fantastic. Guest of the show tonight, thank you for joining us. And everybody, be good to each other. And we'll see you next time.
And that's a show.
That is a show. I actually stopped the recording right before you said, that's a show.
Sweet.